Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in this video I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders and announcements for May 26th, 2023. Now keep in mind, release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links for the titles listed in this video when they are live can be found on the channel's community page. Vinegar Syndrome announced a couple 4K titles for their halfway to Black Friday sale. First up, the film Undefeatable. It will support HDR for the grading and a DTS audio mix. This limited edition is currently up for sale over at Vinegar Syndrome's website for shipping, I think, in the next couple weeks. They also announced the 4K edition of the film Night Screams, which will also support HDR and DTS. Both of these titles are up for order and should once again ship pretty soon. Earlier this week, Disney made official that Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water are arriving on 4K June 20th. I did an entire video talking about the announcements and pre-orders of the various editions of Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water, so I will link that video in the comments section. So just to recap, both HDR and Dolby Atmos have been confirmed. Unfortunately, no Dolby Vision. If you want to know more, head on over to that video I mentioned. I will list it in the comments. A week or two ago, Jaws 2 was announced for 4K on July 4th. Well, now as I was checking, Best Buy listed a Steelbook edition of the film. Now, I can't be sure this is an exclusive to Best Buy. It doesn't say so on their website, but I haven't seen any retailers in the States list it also. So who knows? It could go either way, but if you want to check it out, it is up for pre-order over on Best Buy's website for shipping. Sisu on 4K from Lionsgate was also announced in a previous video. Well, it looks like a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook edition is now up for pre-order over at Best Buy's website. The film will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos, and the release date is July 11th. The cover art for Battlestar Galactica arriving on July 11th has been revealed, and once again, the film will support HDR and DTS audio. As of the recording of this video, the pre-order link is not yet active. I expect that to change in the next day or two, so stay tuned to the channel's community page for when that goes live. Warner Brothers is celebrating their 100th anniversary, and as a result, they've been releasing some classic films on the format. Well, next up, July 18th, we'll have the film Rio Bravo. It will support HDR and DTS for the audio mix. I'm personally excited for this. I love Westerns, especially when they're on 4K, so definitely check this one out. Warner Brothers will also be releasing another James Dean flick on 4K, as East of Eden will be coming on July 18th. HDR and DTS are going to be included, and this pre-order is active. July 18th is shaping up to be a pretty heavy day for the format collectors, as the long-anticipated Les Miserables starring Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe will finally be arriving on the format, and it will support HDR for the grading. And now, this is where things get a little confusing. It's listed on the back cover as DTS-X, but as you'll see shortly, the international releases list Dolby Atmos, so it could go either way, but upgraded audio, I feel, is really going to benefit this film. I can't wait for it, so check this one out. On July 18th, it is finally coming to 4K. Sony announced this week that the 4K edition of So I Married an Axe Murderer is coming out on July 25th. It's getting the full treatment, HDR and Dolby Vision, as well as Dolby Atmos for the audio. I don't believe there are going to be any exclusive Steelbook editions for this one, but if you can't wait to see that giant head in 4K, you only have to wait a couple weeks, as it will once again arrive July 25th. Paramount will be releasing the 2014 reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on 4K July 25th. It will support HDR and Dolby Vision, and I believe they're going to port over the same Dolby Atmos from the Blu Ray. So fans of the film, you can pick this one up very soon. A standard edition of The War of the Worlds will be arriving on 4K, and that release date will also be July 25th. It will support HDR and Dolby Vision and DTS audio, basically the same tech specs as the Paramount Presents release. Now, I know you may be asking, is this going to feature the corrected Mars coloring? I don't believe so. I think this is the same transfer, just without all the fluff of the Presents release. But for standard edition collectors, you can pick this one up at the end of July. Arrow Video just made their 4K announcements for the month of August. First up, Weird Science is arriving on the format. It will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS. Now, apparently, via seamless branching, it will include the director's cut or extended cut, so both versions will be available on 4K. And the release date will be August 22nd. August 29th, Arrow Video will be releasing the 2009 edition of The Last House on the Left. This 4K will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS audio. Pre-orders for both of these titles are going to go live very shortly, so once again, stay tuned to the channel's community page when they are active. To the surprise of nobody, it looks like the latest Fast and Furious film, Fast X, will be arriving on 4K, and while we don't have any official information or release date or cover art for the standard release, I suspect HDR and Dolby Vision are going to be a lock, and Dolby Atmos for the audio. Now, why I think it's going to be Dolby Atmos is the previous Fast and the Furious film, F9, supported Dolby Atmos, where the earlier re-releases supported DTS-X. Really, it could go either way at this point, but stay tuned to the channel when a release date becomes official, and I will update it here. What we do have officially coming is the first exclusive for the film, which is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, which is currently up for pre-order over on their website. Best Buy also has up for pre-order a 10-film 4K collection of all the Fast and Furious movies, and that will be arriving, I would assume, on the same day as a standard release. Now, typical Universal releasing box sets for incomplete series, so I don't know, you're going to have to decide for yourself if it's worth picking up or just maybe wait, I don't know, for the inevitable 11th movie, so we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to make you aware that it is up for pre-order. It was recently revealed that Paramount will be releasing the classic Ferris Bueller's Day Off on 4K. We don't have a release date, but I suspect early fall for this one, and it will probably support HDR and Dolby Vision. No word yet if it's getting an upgraded audio, but stay tuned to the channel. When this becomes official, I will update it here. Kino Lorber recently announced that the classic Western High Noon starring Gary Cooper will be arriving sometime in the future. HDR and Dolby Vision have been confirmed, as well as DTS audio. We don't have a release date from Kino. It could be a while. They like to announce things way in advance. Once we get cover art and official release date, I will update that in a future video. 88 Films recently announced that a 4K edition of Witchfinder General will be arriving sometime in the future. I'm a little surprised that this particular film is coming from that label. Typically, this is not the kind of film they handle, but I'm pretty excited to check it out, so stay tuned to the channel when more information becomes available. I've seen some reports that the Resident Evil film Death Island will be coming sometime in the near future. I would expect HDR and probably Dolby Atmos for the audio, but once again, stay tuned to the channel when this becomes official. This is going to make a lot of Quentin Tarantino fans very happy, as Lionsgate recently revealed in an article that they have acquired the rights to Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2, and a 4K release sometime will be coming in the future. I suspect HDR and Dolby Vision are a lock. No word on any audio or cover art. And also in the same article, they mentioned Jackie Brown may be included. We don't know if that will be getting a 4K release, but I can certainly see that being a possibility. There are a few 4K pre-orders and announcements to go over in this week's video. And going back to Avatar, if you want to hear more information about international releases, once again, check out that video that I listed in the comment section. July 3rd appears to be the release date for Norway's edition of Les Miserables on 4K. HDR is confirmed, and once again, Dolby Atmos is listed on the back cover, and the US has DTS-X, so who knows what's really happening here. But if you live in Norway, you can pick this one up on July 3rd. July 17th, a limited edition version of Jaws 2 will be available in the UK. Once again, HDR and DTS for the audio. Over in France, on July 26th, a Steelbook edition of Steven Spielberg's film Duel will be arriving on 4K, and this one looks to be a FNAC website exclusive. Japan's release of Les Miserables will be arriving on the format on August 2nd. Just like the Nordic release, it will support Dolby Atmos audio. Arrow Video's UK release of Weird Science on 4K, that date will be August 21st. It will have the same tech specs as the US release, and pre-orders will go live very shortly. Coming out as a UK-only release, Arrow Video will have Time Bandits arriving on the format. That release date will be August 28th. If you live in the US, you know that the Criterion Collection will be handling the 4K release for this title, but if you're an Arrow Video fan, you may still want to consider importing. It will support HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS audio. The UK will also be getting Arrow Video's The Last House on the Left on 4K. That release date will be August 28th. HDR, Dolby Vision, and DTS for the audio. And sometime in September, it looks like France will be getting a 3-movie James Dean collection on 4K, which will have Rebel Without a Cause, Giants, and East of Eden. We don't have official artwork, I just used the US domestic releases as an example. When we get official cover art and a release date, I will update that in a future video. So those are this week's new 4K pre-orders and announcements for May 26, 2023. Don't forget to check out the Avatar announcement video I will list in the comment section below. And also, if you're interested in any of the titles I listed in this video, please use the direct links on the channel's community page. And also be sure to let me know what titles I listed in this video you're planning to pick up for yourself. And finally, a special thank you to my Patreons. Your continued support is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.